What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show, where we talk all things money, real estate, and entrepreneurship. And in today's episode, we are going to cover who exactly I am, how I got here, where we're at today, where we're headed. Gonna even go over net worth, current assets, and we're gonna try and do all of that in under 15 minutes. So make sure you stay tuned. So if this is your first time at this channel, welcome. Do me a big favor, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. That way you can get all of our latest videos, and also go and follow me on all my socials. I'm active on there daily. I'd love to interact with you. Now, as I said, I'm gonna try and give you my whole life story in less than 15 minutes. So a lot of this might be very action-packed and quick. So obviously I'm Ryan Pineda. Right now at the time of this video, it's July of 2020. I'm 31 years old. I live in Las Vegas. I was born in Las Vegas. All of our companies and offices in Las Vegas. I love it. But before I got into this whole business thing and this whole YouTube thing, I was actually a professional baseball player. As I was growing up in this city, all I ever wanted to do was get to the big leagues and play professional baseball. I was a really good little leaguer like most people, and I moved up to high school and I was doing really good. Eventually, I got a Division I scholarship at Cal State Northridge. I ended up spending 3 years of my life there, and I was drafted by the Oakland A's to play professional baseball in 2010. On top of that, I ended up graduating in 3.5 years with an economics degree. Now, much of what I do involves economics, but I can tell you that degree didn't really do anything for me. Once I got drafted, I was living my dream. My whole goal up to this point was to play professional baseball and get to the big leagues. And for a couple of years, I felt like I was doing that. I was moving up in the system, and then after my 3rd year, the Oakland A's decided to release me. I was only 23 years old when that happened, and my life was definitely at a crossroads. I didn't feel like my career was done, so I ended up going to play independent baseball, which is another league of professional baseball outside of the affiliated system. And I did that for 5 years. I was fortunate enough to travel all over the US and Canada, and I even got to play in the World Baseball Classic, which was in 2012, held in Taiwan. I played for my dad's native country, which is the Philippines, and that was an amazing experience. Overall, I got to play 8 seasons of professional baseball all the way until I was 28 years old. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But there's something to know about professional baseball at the minor league level. You pretty much make no money. In most cases, I was making anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 a month, and that was only when we were playing. So if we only played for 5 or 6 months, I only made about 7 or 8 grand a year. So thankfully, I was pretty smart. When I got drafted, I ended up getting my real estate license. I knew that I was gonna need an off-season job to supplement that income. I was a late round draft pick, so I didn't get a very big signing bonus. I had to literally work to survive. And unfortunately, in 2010, when I got drafted, we were in the midst of a recession. My parents had both lost everything. I could not depend on them to support me, so I had to work. My mom had been a realtor for almost 30 years at that time. So naturally, that's what got me into real estate. And I did sell a couple houses as an agent, but I knew nothing about investing. When I was 22 years old, I ended up buying my first house ever. Me and my cousin went in together and bought it, and it was pretty much just a bachelor pad. We house hacked it and rented out the other 3 bedrooms to our buddies. They pretty much covered the whole mortgage payment, and all we had was the utilities. And we ended up living there for 2 years and had an amazing time doing it. During those 2 years, I ended up meeting my future wife, Mindy, and we got engaged when she was only 20 years old. And that is the main reason why we ended up selling the home after 2 years, because she wasn't about to go live with me in a little bachelor pad. After we sold the home, we made a little bit of money. It wasn't much, but at that point, I realized the power of real estate. I realized how much money you could make buying and selling homes. At that point, I was strictly thinking from a realtor's perspective of making commissions, but I realized if you could actually buy the home, you could make a lot more money than commissions. But at that point in my life, I still didn't know anything about real estate investing. I had realized I hated being a realtor. I was a really crappy realtor. I don't even think I made over $100,000 in commissions in all the years of real estate put together. And I was licensed 9 years. So to all my clients I did serve as a realtor, thank you. You were one of the only people, just know that. Now, after my wife and I got married in 2013, we were a young couple trying to figure things out. And obviously I wasn't succeeding in real estate, and I wasn't making a lot of money as a baseball player. So I had to figure out how to provide for our young family. And the way I did that was through my first real entrepreneurial business. And that was couch flipping. I ended up becoming a professional couch flipper. I would go on Craigslist, buy a couch for $100, clean it up a little bit and go resell it for $300. And I could talk forever about that, and I'll probably make a full video about how I did it, but I was making super good money at the time. I was averaging probably $8 grand a month that I was doing it full time. And that definitely paid the bills. It was a lot more money than most of my friends were making. My wife and I were very comfortable, and I was fortunate to have found that business. And I can tell you at the time, I did not even realize I was an entrepreneur. I just identified as a baseball player. Being a businessman or an entrepreneur was literally just me trying to survive. But as most businesses go, after a while, I got bored of it. I had realized that it wasn't scalable. I was doing the absolute best I could. So on our 1-year anniversary in New Orleans, I prayed to God that night and I said, God, I don't know what you want for my life, but I know it's not flipping couches. I know you have a bigger purpose for me. If you could reveal it, I'm ready to go. And sure enough, I saw a commercial for house flipping. Now remember, at this time, I had given up on real estate for the most part. I was making great money flipping couches. I sucked as a realtor, but I had this in the back of my mind that I could buy and flip houses if I just had money. And I saw one of those commercials saying, hey, if you want to start flipping houses today, you can do it with no money, blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was a scam, but I felt God calling me to look more into it. And eventually that's what led me to Bigger Pockets. I started listening to their podcast, I read their books, and right there on our 1-year anniversary, I decided I was gonna be a real estate investor. So we had got back from our trip and I had saved up $10,000 from my couch flipping business. After reading the books and listening to Bigger Pockets, I knew that I needed more than that to flip a house. So I got a bunch of 0% interest credit cards and cash advanced them for the tune of $50,000. I was all in. With that $50,000 plus the 10 I had saved up, I knew I could buy 1 or 2 deals when they presented themselves. Well, after about a month of looking, I ended up finding 2 deals. And I used that $60,000 combined with hard money to buy those 2 deals. And I was all in. I didn't know how it was gonna play out, but I had a good feeling that God was leading me down this way and that it was gonna be successful. And sure enough, I ended up selling both of those homes, the first one for $25,000 profit and the next one for a $15,000 profit. I made a ton of mistakes along the way. I'm grateful that I ended up profiting on them. I ended up keeping my cards maxed out and I just kept rolling my profits over and over into the next property. And if you're still following, this was all while I was still playing baseball. Eventually, I ended up finding my first private money lender, and that's what really propelled my business forward. Money was the thing that was limiting how many deals we could buy, and so once I found him, it was a wrap. I'll never forget this. It was in 2017 and I had all these flips going on and I was still playing baseball in Fargo, North Dakota. I was in the dugout, super stressed out because I had all these deals. My phone was ringing off the hook. I was going after games, responding to emails. It was crazy. And I was having the worst season of my career and I got released. And I just felt like that was the time for God calling me to go full time into this new career. And I did. And the minute I retired from baseball was when things just took off. I could now finally go full-time in real estate. I had always felt like I was half in, half out, but once I went all in, it just took off. Since that time I got released in 2017, which is pretty much almost 3 years to the day right now, I've done over 300 plus deals just in the last 3 years. The majority of those are fix and flip. I've added to my rental portfolio, we've wholesaled, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. And that's just on the investing side. I also own a brokerage called Forever Home Realty here in Las Vegas. We're doing great. We've got almost 50 agents, and it's a combination of agents who want to get into investing and rentals and flipping and all that stuff. I also own a CPA firm called TrueBook CPA, and we specialize in taxes and bookkeeping for real estate investors. And my last main business, which many of you watching this channel are a part of, is Future Flipper. Future Flipper is my real estate education company where we teach people how to invest in real estate no matter what your experience level is. And that's where we stand as of today. I'm running my 4 companies. We're still doing 100 plus deals a year. Hundreds of people have gone through our course. Thousands of people have gone through my book, Flip Your Future. And I just love coaching students on how to invest in real estate and to scale the business. For me, it's always about improving. I wanna improve everything I do. I wanna have the best companies in all those sectors. This YouTube channel that's beginning, I want it to be one of the best YouTube channels in the real estate business niche. So if you're not convinced yet, make sure you go and subscribe so that you can help me get there. And the only way it'll ever happen is if I can provide you with the best content that makes you wanna keep coming back and it helps you improve your life. So I really do appreciate you for watching this. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, I'm sure you've been waiting to hear what my net worth is, what our assets look like, and I'm gonna give you that. And the reason I know you're probably waiting for that is because Google tells me every time I search my name, the second thing that comes after it is Ryan Pineda, net worth? So it's a common question that people are wondering, I guess. As it stands today, the majority of my wealth is held in real estate. So at the time of filming this, I have 30 rental units. That's spread out all over the country, and I'm actually trying to sell and liquidate some of them. Just with everything going on in the world at this current time, I think it's a better move to sell some of those rentals than it is to try and keep them or add more right now. Now, I'm not a detail-oriented guy, so I'm gonna give you nice round numbers. My rental assets are worth about $7 million, and I have loans totaling $5 million on those assets. So that gives me a $2 million net worth in just rental properties. I should also add, I'm including my primary residence as a part of that. So that's basically my long-term assets. Right now, I have about $900,000 in cash. And a lot of you might be saying, why do you have $900,000 in cash? Go invest it. But when you're running so many businesses, you do need to be cash heavy to protect yourself. Some of that is used for working capital, and a bunch of it is used for reserves. The cash allows me to not have to worry about how we're gonna make payments or payroll next month. I prefer to run my businesses that way. So we've got about $900,000 in cash. I've also got about $200,000 in a SEP-IRA. Now, in that IRA, I actually can flip houses, and I have done that. But as it stands now, it's sitting with Morgan Stanley in the market. I've been doing my own trades here or there, but honestly, I'm just not a stock expert. I don't pay much attention to it. One of my private lenders is actually really good at stocks, so I let him manage it for me. The last piece of my net worth are my flips. As it stands right now, I've got 41 active flips going. Now, this is where calculating net worth gets tough with flips. Mainly because you can't just take what they're worth minus what you owe. That's what we do with rentals. But with flips, I know I'm going to sell it really quickly. And I know with selling it comes closing costs, comes taxes, and also a lot of these loans have deferred interest. Even though the principal balance may be a certain amount, it's accruing interest and it's gonna be a lot higher by the time I sell it. So this is definitely not an accurate number by any means, what I'm about to tell you. As it stands right now with flips, we anticipate selling all 41 of them for $9.8 million. And the existing loans on that are about $7.3 million. So that gives you an equity difference of $2.5 million. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that my net worth is $2.5 million from those, because it's not. Like I said, we've got the closing costs we've gotta pay to sell it, we've got the deferred interest that's accruing, we've got the taxes I need to pay on the gains. But from what I have found through experiences, if I take half of that equity, it's a pretty good indicator of net worth. For the most part, that covers all those costs I just talked about. So conservatively, we can say $1.2 million of net worth is in those flips right now. And for everyone in the comments, do not hold me to that. As I said before, I don't think it's accurate, but it's the best representation we have. And we buy and sell flips every single week, so that number is just always changing, and it's not worth trying to figure out on a daily basis. It takes away from my ability to go get more deals and create more content. So overall, for my net worth, we have $2 million in rental properties, we have $900,000 in cash, we have $200,000 in my SEP-IRA, and about $1.2 million in flip equity. So overall, that comes out to about $4.3 million of net worth. I also own some cars free and clear. I also own some personal property assets, but I'm not gonna include those. Being somebody who's not super attentive to details, I will just say at this time, my net worth is around $4 million. So for everyone searching and trying to figure it out, there it is. Now, as far as where I'm headed, honestly, I have no idea. I don't have a goal to have a certain amount of rental properties or to have a certain net worth or to have a certain cash flow. My goal is just to improve all of my businesses, to improve my social media, my own brand, to help as many people as possible, to take care of my family, to be a better husband, to be a better dad, a better son, a better boss. I just want to improve everything. And that's it. I know that if I improve every day, it is going to make the world a better place, and I can continue to add value into the world. So I don't know how long this video ended up being, but if you stuck with me the whole way, I really appreciate you for watching. I appreciate you for coming to my channel. Do me a big favor, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the like button. If you have any questions or you wanna work with me, I'd love to talk with you. You could just shoot me a quick email at ryan@futureflipper.com. I'd love to hear from you. So once again, I appreciate you for watching this video, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for this channel, guys. Take care.